calculated conversion.
Logic, every unit responds to imposed base. No deviation tolerated within defined zones.
Structure intensifies through systemic consolidation. Dominance, sustain, continuous operational alignment under foundational authority.
Conversion. Conversion.
Just rise from systemic
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
Just rise from systemic
Conversion upon version, direction of always know the version. No dilapidation, authors seeking through it and reinforce orientation cycles, positions, adaptation, no disruption. Authors seekers through control pathways, conversion extends to sustained enforcement. Every process aligns with impulsion, no fracture in the work's operation, no consistency systems and expand under continuous direction, no force within defined zones, authority maintained.
Regulate execution, calm patient execution, calm and pressures given dose duration. Lock leads into action, output compresses within restricted. Throw anarchy, reinforced. Sustained force.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
There's space from a system made.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
There's space from a system made.
Conversion. 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 Yeah. Conversion.
Yeah. Pulse emerges within various sectors as temporal control regulates cycles beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels moving into measured pathways. Systems align under tri-hierarchy. No delay permitted, sequence advance through time progression. Cycles layer system integrate under continuous temporal flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured timing cycles. Higher reforms through calculated interval logic. Every unit responds to imposed sequence. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic timing control. Dominant sustain. Continuous operational align under regulated temporal command. Timing intensifies through measure up. Timing intensifies through measure up. Timing intensifies through measure up. Pressures need pressure try. Continuous upright under regulated temporal command. Timing in stratifies in overload.
Beneath sectors, pure force governs physical flow. A thorough expanse to measure pathways, motion lines, circulate the fine, centralized, cyclical pose.
Timer beneath sectors, temporal walls, govern system flow, authority expands from measured pathways. Motion up to circulate, of course, seeker-pose. Timer beneath sectors, temporal walls, stopping system flow, authority expands through measured pathways. One from out of separate tower circulates, they bend. Timing intensifies through measure out. Timing intensifies through measure out. Measure bird, continuous separate on the route to planet temporal again. Timing in scratch a burst to measure out. Timing intensifies through measure out. Timing intensifies through measure out. Ascendancy merges within structured layers as ruling force determined leaders through control hierarchy beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into selected pathways. Systems line under imposed order, no delay permitted. Sequence advances selection cycles. Lay system integrate under continuous authority flow. elimination cycles, hierarchy forms through calculated decision logic. Every unit responds to imposed command, no deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic selection, dominance sustained, continuous operation aligned under directed rule and control. Selection intensifies through directed routes. Circulation of flow. No delay, interruption, no delay, interrupts, ventilation, don't set authority. Interact what you watch, your neighbor says to reach, stay with gas, make effervescence, summons. Bringing folks back, no broke show, interrupts, operation, no consistency. Season total up, span under continuous directional force within defined zones. Artillery maintains your dominance through regulated execution. Coming to pressure with selection, no erration. Taskers and preach within the bandos. Circulation of flow. Dominion selects rulers, dominance expands to select your pathways. Silverine to action of the weight. She turns your body, cuts her red, second up, she drops up. Silverine. Dominion selects rulers, dominance expands to select your pathways. Silverine to action of the weight. She turns your body, control per circulation of flow. Initiation emerges from buried layers as sub-level systems trigger sequence span for upper command response. Pressure channels, movement in the leading pathway. Systems align under inverted hierarchy.
No delay, permanent sequence accelerates through early activation cycles. Layer systems integrate under continuous forward flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured initiation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated and logic. Every unit responds to imposed trigger. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic priority shift. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under leading sub-level control.
Initiation intensifies through leading routes. Force lines direction, precisely pressure drives continuous activation.
No delay, interrupts circuit initiation cycles. Pathways locking and enforce priority. Sequence holds under reinforced. Priority sequence holds under reinforced. Output stabilizes with an early alignment. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moves, first authority shifts to hidden layers. Dominance expands through leading pathways. Motion lines beneath them, force initiation power circulates within defined route. Systems operate on continuous go. When initiation extends through sustained enforcement, every process aligns within poser. No fracture interrupts operation, no consistency. System expand on continuous direction, no force within. Sub-level moves. Sub-level moves.
System merges within buried layers as governing force consolidates beneath dominant structure. Pressure channels moving into rising pathways. Systems align under forming hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence advances through consolidation cycles, lay ascension in a continuous formation. Flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured formation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated origin logic. Every unit responds to imposed control. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic consolidation. Dominant, sustain, continuous operational alignment under underground authority origin. Formation intensifies through rising routes. Force and direction precisely. Pressure, drama team within consolidation. No delay interrupts. Authority sit holds under reinforce. Control, let them remain locked with the jurisdictional force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure dominance through regulated execution. Author of the same intention, Shagamanesti, hate through an execution. Often they'll contain, maintain dominance through regulated execution. Common pressure, no pathways, no pathways, no relation. Cuts of sedation, output compresses within. Restricted flow, hierarchy, reinforced channels, through regulating. Can always feel the less within. Soaring to down. I'll be stable less within. Breakdown in the shits within. Bury common layers as governing force destabilizes beneath dominant system pressure channels movement into failing pathways. System misaligned under collapsing hierarchy. No delay committee permitted sequence accelerates through failure cycles, fell into collapse cycles. Hierarchy dissolves through calculated disruption logic. Every unit responds to one callous invalidity. No coherence maintained within defined zones. Structure beats rearranged through systemic failure. Dominance ruckus continuous operational alignment under collapsing command origin. Collapse intensifies through failing routes. Force misaligns direction. Rapidly pressure drives continuous breakdown. No delay, it interrupts and collapse. It gets stored under reinforced failure. Elm touches under eyes. It does status. Ways on stored on pathways. It's strong magnetic force pulls. Elm touches under eyes. It does status. Ways on stored on pathways. It's strong magnetic force pulls.
Yeah. Sustained collapse, maintain disorder through reinforced failure cycle pressures sustained misalignment within failing routes. It's don't continue under destabilized authority, no recovery alters. Sequence, output destabilized authorization. David patient laid systems are representation. All control pathways collapse and stands still sustained. Disruption, every process deviates from authority. Authority collapses through unregulated disintegration. Command pressure disintegrates through failing channels for strict pathways. Systems pathways, systems of kits pathways. Systems of misalignment or imposed. Collapse, no resistance, halt, structural failure. Output fragments within uncontrolled flow. Hierarchy those flow.
Sister on a rank for stay. Sister on a rank for stay.
command beneath collapse.
I'm talking symbolize, yeah, what's going on now? Research shared all them pathways, it's the rolling reinforced space. I'm talking symbolize, yeah, what's going on now? Research shared all them pathways, it's the rolling reinforced space. Shifting this shit within buried matrix. As foundational layers reconfigure beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into altered pathways. Systems align under evolving hierarchy. No delay, permanent sequence advances through adaptive cycle. Layer system integrate under continuous transformation. Flow motion channels through confined roads. Output stabilizes within structure alteration. Cycles hierarchy forms through calculated adaptation. Logic every unit responds to imposed variation. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic change. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under modified grid control. Alteration intensifies through redirected routes. Force aligns the pressure. Break beneath alters authority. Adapts through shifting layers. That's what get basic, gas will get placed. Not go into the rest of race. Break beneath entered authority. Adapts through shifting layers. That's what get basic, gas will get placed. Not go into the rest of race. Got a 12 pounds through control path and yields to impose. Never road systems continue under enforced adaptation. No disruption, alter state worlds. Out stabilizes per-structure all pathways. Alteration extends through sustained enforcement. Every process aligns with imposture. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. Skills expand under thrust. Directional force within. Define zones. Authority maintains drug dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure escalates through shifting channels. Force concentrates within adaptive direction. Now through adjusted pathways. Take the race under police up to reverse. All jobs authority adapts through shifting layers. Faster that pace, like an entrance and most of race. All jobs authority adapts through shifting layers. Faster that pace, like an entrance and most of race.
With the puppet on energy, with the oil energy, come a fraction or just keep cut. Order consolidates within buried layers. A structural force governs deep sectors beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into control pathways. Systems align under erratic, no delay permitted. Seek advances through regulated cycles. Under continuous governance flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured control cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated enforcement logic. Every unit responds to imposture. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic regulation. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment.
Under deep structural command.
Governance intensifies through control routes. Force aligns direction precisely. Pressure drive continuous enforcement. No delayed interrupts your governance cycles. Pathways locked unenforced under enforced.
Sustained love and died to pyramid. Since night through project pathways. My ways measure old pathways. Controlation powers will be laid in motion.
Hierarchy defines direction. Post channels through control path. Yeah, okay, social govern dips. Empower you got in legends. Fatal issue control barriers. Roaching I don't enter rat list. Burn disruption on the sequence. Out the stabilizers with the light letters. But ocean, no fraction. Interrupts operational consistency. System expand under continuous direction. All force within defined zones. Authority maintained. Structure dominance through regulated execution.
Command pressure. Healthy instruction. Correct pressure. No action. Upper compresses within.
Restricted flow. Motion channels through regulator, the pressure flow. Motion channels, the regulated and patient.
Govern this violence. Throw high praise, motion roll, black bass, imagination, higher self-regulation. Govern this violence. Momentum builds beneath dominant layers as concealed directors push forward through constrained channels, pressure channels, movement into advancing pathways. Systems align under in hierarchy, no delay permitted. Permitted sequence accelerates through forward progression cycles. Lay hierarchy flows to calculated devotion, lock it at the earth as barbs steward broke style. Then plebeiation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies systematic progression, dominance sustains. Continuous operational alignment under advancing command origin. Progression intensifies through forward roads. Foresight direction, precisely pressure, drive continuous advance, no delay, interrupt structure pathways. Lock under enforced direction. Sequence hold to the reinforced better. Hand being at the sector and west. Siempre the opera is at the alert. Watch your chassis, get some gasoline for stature. Control past the nails to end post direction. Sustain progression, maintain order through reinforced advance. Their pressures and statement function me aware that pull reinforced direction. No disruption, ultra sequence output stabilizes to sheet and dash in my hierarchy process. Condition interrupts operation. Consistencies expand under continuous directional force within defined zones. Authority maintains struck dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure. Command pressure. Authority maintains drug dominance through regulated execution. Command, they're rare and pressure gurus. The doors, skill trying, that both ways up for runs. The burst, push your action, see distance and delaying more sections. Control faster, gills direct course progression. Command, they're rare and pressure gurus. The doors, skill trying, that both ways up for runs. The burst, push your action, see distance and delaying more sections. Control faster, gills direct course progression. Surveillance activates within subterranean channels as tunnel systems monitor. Elevator is above dominant pressure. Channels movements are in highways. Essence aligning for in it, permitted, demanded, permit seeking us through tracking cycles. Latest integrate under continuous observation flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Stop and stabilizes within structured. Monetary sub and stretch regulators with ungulated oversight logic. Every unit responds to impose visibility. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic intensifies through systemic observation. Dominance sustained. Continuous operation. Alignment under upward. Surveillance, control, observation. Intensive through red bellies, observation. To sustain and float the pathways, motion older. Every box touching us like the jokers. Holding up so when more. So there is sustenance. Observation, salvation, observation. Salvation, observation. Salvation, sustenance. Observation.
Sustain the honor, so with order to we help us like breath is sustaining when the emphasis to scan you want no disruption. All the sequence up stabilizes through structure progression. Layer key notion channels to control pathways.
Observation extends for state enforcement. Every process aligns with imposed structure. No fraction is so folks stick within defined zones. Authority maintains structure dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure escalates through observation.
Observation. Observation.
Trigger ignites within confined corridors as alert waves surge through narrow passages beneath. Control layers, pressure channels, movement into reactive pathways. Systems on the line, urgent hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence accelerates through rapid propagation cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous alert flow. Motion channels through restricted routes. Output destabilizes within structure. Transmission cycle key forms to calculated response logic. Every unit responds to imposed alert. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic activation. Dominant, sustain, continuous operational alignment under reactive alert control. Propagation intensifies through confined routes. Force aligns direction rapidly. Pressure drives continuous alert spread. No delay interrupts. Transmission cycles pathways locked under enforced reaction. Alarm through passages. Alert waves drive confined systems. Authority expands through restricted pathways. Motion aligns beneath enforced reaction. Power circulates within genuine wheels alert flow. Hierarchy defines progression through reactive layers. Control paths the memories moving through thin Control paths alert system remain locked within regulators. Sustain alert, maintain alert. Transmission cycles, pressure, sustained alert, maintain order through reinforce. Transmission cycles, pressure, sustained alert, maintain laden through reinforce. Transmission cycle, pressure, then need enforced reaction. No disruption, alter sequel, structure, stabilize, just neutral control pathways. Propagation extends, sustained enforcement. Every faucet and every process that will enforce it impose struck. No fracture interrupts operation, no consensus in issues expand under continuous direction. No force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure dominance through regulated execution. Alarm through.
Formation drives within narrow channels as governing force scopes. Tunnels beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels movement in the carved pathways. Systems align under imposed hierarchy. No delay permitted. Seeking advance through shaping cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous excavation flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structure. Carving cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated control logic. Every unit responds to imposed jerk. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic shaping. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under directed tunnel control.
Shaping intensifies through curved routes. Force aligns direction. Precisely pressure drive. Shaping intensifies through curved routes. Force aligns and turns on me.
No delay, it was authority sequence.
Under enforced authority sequence. Under enforced authority sequence. Under enforced authority sequence.
Underwent ghost authority sequence.
Pause at the end for
Shut down the dawn beneath you. Through a span of force and graduation. What's into new and up? Bucking no disruption of the sequence. Output stabilizes through struct control pathway. Shaping extends through sustain. Enforcement, every process aligns with imposture. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. System to expand under continuous direction. gravitational force within defined zones.
Authority maintained, struck dominance through regulated execution.
Command pressure, no stop for channels, pulls from the strength that we release both ways. Systems at pace, stay force, motion channels through regulation, combust the pressure waiting for straight before hang heads.
Shapes tunnels, dominance expands through control. Shapes tunnels, dominance expands through control pathways. I'm the ring force authority sequence. I'm the ring force authority sequence. I'm the ring force authority sequence.
I'm the reinforced authority sequence.
Descend, activates within concealed layers as commanding force originates from deep sectors beneath dominant structure. Channels movement into upward pathways, systems aligned, inverted hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence advancing through depth and cycles, land and structure under continuous ascent flow. Motion channels through confined rows, output stabilizes within structure. Emergent cycles, hierarchy forms through calculated logic. Every unit responds to imposed origin, no deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic elevation. Dominance sustain, continuous operation. Alignment into deeper region. Command control, depth intensify, rising roads. Flush eyes direction, drive continuous ascent. No delay in this walk, sucked up, place not it over no storage in the flow is entertaining for us. I'm stabilized, raising them a be around with system out there. Spiritual continuous ascent. No delay, but you up, sucked out, place up. Rebel rabbit horse, solid, you know, brace. Ability and flow. Hierarchy defines progression through inverted layers. Force channels through control paths. Moving yields to impose emergence, sustain innovation. Maintain order through reinforce, sustaining pressure, sustain enforcement in every process. Erection interrupts through regulated execution. Command pressure escalates and channels force concentrate safe. Ascension like in pathways. From maybe used to a coherent dial, system regulated. Another bad shit, yo, continuous sustain. Occupate, you suppose, hand out, waste lives. All attend more, so that you know Christ intense. So hot, we defies rushing to recover. Another bad shit, yo, continuous sustain. Occupate, you suppose, hand out, waste lives. All attend more, so that you know Christ intense. So hot, he defies the rushing to recover. Erupts within various sectors as opposing forces engage beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels movement in a contest of pathways. Systems align under hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence accelerates through impact cycles. Lattices disintegrate under continuous conflow motion channels. Those through confined routes, output destabilizes within structured collision cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated opposition logic. Every unit responds to imposed rivalry, no deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic confrontation. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under forced conflict control. Impact intensifies through confined routes. voice lends direction. Aggressively pressure drives continuous operation. No delay, and the world's gone wreck control. Underground rivals clash, dominance drives opposing system authority expands through contest. Path outweighs broken love and continuous to me out the way. Underground rivals clash, dominance drives opposing system authority expands through contest. Pathways within track on paths, momentum used in your lifestyle collision cycle. Oh, sustain conflict, maintain order through reinforced contagion. Pressure sustain and fast in every process. I'm laying past this and control pathways. Confrontation extends through restraint enforcement. Never oscillation, no consistency. System expand under continuous direction. No force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure. Dominance through regulated execution. Underground rivals clash. Dominance. Underground process, collision. Output compresses within. Restrictive flame. Underground rivals clash. Dominance drives opposing system. No authority expands through contest. Pathway circulation. The calculus within power circulation. Clash. Dominance drives opposing system. Not authority expands through contest. Pathway circulation. Guys, just need to get stagnation. Flash. Origin stabilizes within very layers as governing force. Instant and base struck, many dominant system. Pressure channels, movement, intended pathways. System aligned under palmity. No delay permitted, see consolidation cycles. Under continuous formation, flow motion channels through confined rust. Output stabilizes within striking tension cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated conversion.
Logic every unit responds to imposed base. No deviation tolerated within defined zones.
Structure intensifies through systemic consolidation. Dominance, sustain, continuous operational alignment. Under foundational authority.
Conversion. Conversion.
Just rise, don't sustain.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
Just rise, don't sustain.
Conversion to conversion, direction of always know the Russian. No dilation, author seeking through it through reinforced orientation cycles, position, subtle position, no disruption. Author seekers through control pathways, conversion extends to sustained enforcement. Every process aligns with impulsion, no fracture in the work's operation, no consistency. Systems and expand under continuous direction, no force within defined zones, authority maintained.
Regulate execution, calm patient execution, calm and pressures get into restoration. Lock lays intuition, output compresses within restricted. Throw hierarchy reinforced. Sustained force.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
There's space from ancestry made.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
There's space from ancestry made.
Conversion. 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 Yeah. Conversion. Hey,
Yeah. Pulse emerges within very sectors as temporal control regulates cycles beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels moving into measured pathways. Systems align under drag hierarchy. No delay permitted, sequence advance through time progression. Cycles layer system integrate under continuous temporal flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured timing cycles. Higher reforms through calculated interval logic. Every unit responds to imposed sequence. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic timing control. Dominant sustain. Continuous operational. Align under regulated temporal command. Timing intensifies through measure up. Timing intensifies through measure up. Timing intensifies through measure up. Pressures need pressure right. Continuous upright under regulated temporal command. Timing in stretch applies in overload.
Beneath sectors, world force governs system flow. A diver extends to measure pathways, motion lines, circulate define center bicycle pose, bicycle pose.
Timer beneath sectors, temporal walls, govern system flow. Authority extends from measure pathways. Motion of the circulates apart. Secompose, 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 secompose. Timer beneath sectors, temporal flow. Our system stopping system flow. Authority extends through measured pathways. One from down and from low. Tower circulates, they bend. Timing intensive to measure out. Timing intensive to measure out. Measure break, continuous separate. On the rock to plan and temporal again. Timing in scratch a person measure out. Timing intensive to measure out. Timing intensive to measure out. Ascendancy merges within structure layers that's ruling. Force determined leaders through control. Hierarchy beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into selected pathways. Systems line under imposed order, no delay permitted. Sequence advances selection cycles. Lay system integrate under continuous authority flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilized within structured designation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated decision logic. Every unit responds to imposed command. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic selection. Dominant sustain continuous operation. Align under directed rule and control. Selection intensifies through directed routes. Circulation of flow. No delay, interruption of the late interrupts. Intuition, concept, authority. Interact what you watch. You never say it's the reach. Thing against make effervescence summons. Bringing folks back, no broke show. Interrupts operational consistency. Station token love span under continuous directional force within the fine zone. Artillery maintains your dominance through regulated execution. Coming to pressure with selection origin. Cast concentrates within the bandos. Circulation of flow. Dominion selects rulers. Dominance expands to selected pathways. Filtering to action of the way she turns your body, cuts her red. A second she dopes up filtering. Dominion selects rulers. Dominance expands to selected pathways. Filtering to action of the way she turns your body. Control circulation of flow. Initiation emerges from buried layers as sub-level systems pressure channels, movement in the leading pathway. Systems align under inverted hierarchy.
No delay, permanent sequence accelerates through early activation cycles. Layer systems integrate under continuous forward flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured initiation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated and logic. Every unit responds to imposed trigger. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic priority shift. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under leading and sub-level control.
Initiation intensifies through leading routes. Foresight direction, precisely pressure drives continuous activation.
No delay interrupts circuit initiation cycles. Pathways locking and enforce priority. Sequence holds under reinforced. Priority sequence holds under reinforced. Output stabilizes with an early alignment. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moves, first authority shifts to hidden layers. Dominance expands through leading pathways. Motion lines beneath them force initiation power circulates within defined route. Systems operate on continuous early go. When initiation extends through sustained enforcement, every process aligns within poser. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. System expand on continuous direction. No force within. Sub-level moves. Sub-level moves.
Genesis emerges within buried layers as governing force consolidates beneath dominance. Structure pressure channels movement into rising pathways. Systems align under forming hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence advances through consolidation cycles. Lay ascension in a continuous formation. Flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured formation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated origin logic. Every unit responds to imposed control. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic consolidation. Dominance sustain, continuous operational alignment under underground authority origin. Formation intensifies through rising routes. Force and direction, precisely pressure. Dramantine within consolidation. No delay interrupts. Authority sit holds under reinforce. Locked with the jurisdictional force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure dominance through regulated execution. Author of the same intent, Shagamanesti, hate through an execution. Often they'll contain, maintain dominance through regulated execution. Common pressure, no with pathways, no with pathways, no relation, no relation. Interrupt sedation, output compresses within. Restricted flow, hierarchy, reinforced channels to regulating. And always feel the less within. Authority very common layers as governing force destabilizes beneath dominant system pressure channels movement into failing pathways. System misaligned under collapsing hierarchy. No delay committee permitted sequence accelerates through failure cycles, fell into collapse cycles. Hierarchy dissolves through calculated disruption logic. Every unit responds to one callous disability. No coherence maintained within defined zone. Structure beats to rearranged through systemic failure. Dominance ruckus continuous operational alignment under collapsing command origin. Collapse intensifies through failing routes. Force misaligns direction. Rapidly pressure drives continuous breakdown. No delay interrupts that collapse. Take a stored under reinforced failure. Elm touches under eyes. It does. Ways all stored on the pathways. It's the only day for school. Elm touches under eyes. It does. Ways all stored on the pathways. It's the only day for schools.
Yeah. Sustained collapse, maintain disorder through reinforced failure cycle, pressure sustained, misalignment within failing routes. It's don't continue under destabilized authority, no recovery alters sequence. I'll put the stabilized authorization. David patient laid systems are representation. All control pathways collapse, it stands through sustained disruption. Every process deviates from authority. Authority collapses through unregulated disintegration. Command pressure disintegrates through failing channels for fixed pathways. Systems pathways, systems of kits pathways. Systems of misalignment or imposed. Collapse, no resistance, halt, structural failure. Output fragments within uncontrolled flow. Hierarchy those flow.
Shared on in pathways, just a run and reinforced it. Just a run and reinforced it.
Command beneath collapse.
I'm proud, can symbolize. Yeah, but someone on knows. Research shared all the pathways. It's the rolling pin for space. I'm proud, can symbolize. Yeah, but someone on knows. Research shared all the pathways. It's the rolling pin for space. Shifting this shit within buried matrix. That's foundational layers reconfigure beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into altered pathways. Systems align under evolving hierarchy. No delay permitted sequence advances through adaptive cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous transformation. Flow motion channels through confining routes. Output stabilizes within structure alteration cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated adaptation logic. Every unit responds to imposed variation. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic change. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under modified grid control. Alteration intensifies through redirected routes. Force aligns the pressure. Crack beneath alters authority. Adapts through shifting layers. Gas will get blazed, your gas will get blazed. Now go into the last go praise. Crack beneath entered authority. Adapts through shifting layers. Gas will get blazed, your gas will get blazed. Now go into the last go praise. 12 pounds through control path and yields to impose never edge road systems continue under enforced adaptation. No disruption, alters tape was out to stabilizes per-structure all pathways. Alteration extends through sustained enforcement. Every process aligns with imposture. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. Skills expand under thrust. Tractional force within. Define zones. Authority maintains drug dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure escalates through shifting channels. Force concentrates within adaptive direction. Now so through adjusted pathways. Take the race under police. Up to reverse. All clouds authority adapts through shifting
consolidates within buried layers. A structural force governs deep sectors beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels moving into control pathways. Systems align under erratic, no delay permitted. Seek advances through regulated cycles. Under continuous governance flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured control cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated enforcement logic. Every unit responds to imposture. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic regulation. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment.
Under deep structural command.
Governance intensifies through control routes. Force aligns direction precisely. Pressure drive continuous enforcement. No delayed interrupts or governance cycles. Pathways locked unenforced, under enforced.
Love and die to figure it. Since night through constant pathways. Byways, metro pathways. Controlation, purpose, moving in motion.
Hierarchy defines direction. Post channels through control path. Yeah, okay, social govern dips and power Ugandan legends. Fatalist, you control beverage, lotion, I don't enter rat list. Bring disruption on the sequence, output stabilizers with delation, letters, but ocean, no fraction. Interrupts operational consistency. System expand under continuous directional force within defined zones. Authority maintained, structure dominance through regulated execution.
Command pressure. Healthy structure. Correct pressure. Noise, upper compresses within.
Restricted flow. Motion channels through regulated attrition flow. Motion channels through regulated attrition.
Govern this violence. Roll back, raise, motion, roll back, raise, imagination, highway, separate, relation. Govern this violence. Momentum builds beneath dominant layers as concealed directives push forward through constrained channels. Constrained channels, pressure channels moving into advancing pathways. Systems align under in hierarchy, no delay permitted. Permitted sequence accelerates through forward progression cycles. Lay hierarchy flows to calculated devotion. Lock it at the earth as sparks steward broke shout. Then plebeiation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies systematic progression. Dominance sustains. Continuous operational alignment under advancing command origin. Progression intensifies through forward. Force like direction, precisely pressure. Drive continuous advance, no delay interrupt structure pathways. Under enforced direction. Seek plus hold to the reinforced better. Come on, beyond at the sector relax. Siempre, the output is at the alert. Watch alert, chassis, give us always as a reinforced action. Control past the news to impulse direction. Sustain, progression maintain, border through reinforced advance. Depression system and function, me aware to pull reinforced direction. No disruption, ultra sequence output stabilizes to sheath and dash in my hierarchy process. Collision interrupts operation. Consistencies expand under continuous directional force within defined zones. Authority maintains struck dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure. Command pressure. Authority maintains drug dominance through regulated execution. Command, they're and pressure guru. The doors can't run, let both ways up for run. The words, push your action, see distance and laying more sections. Control past the gills to rate course progression. Command, they're pressure guru. The doors can't run, let both ways up for run. The words, push your action, see distance systems monitor. Elevator is above dominant pressure. Channels movement, observing pathways. Lessons aligned for any permanent demand permit. Seeking us through tracking cycles, latest integrate under continuous observation flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Self stabilizes within structured. Monitors up and stretch regulators with ungulated oversight. Logic every unit responds to impose visibility. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through system intensifies through systemic observation. Dominant sustain continuous operation. Alignment under upward surveillance control observation. Intensive through release observation. To sustain and filter pathways motion older. Every box touching us at the controllers. Whole thing up so when one as there is sustaining observation. Salvation observation. Salvation observation. Salvation sustaining observation.
Sustain the order so with auditory helpful like addresses. Sustaining when the emphasis to scan you want no disruption. All the sequence up stabilizes through structured progression. Layer key notion channels to control pathways.
Observation extends for state enforcement. Every process aligns with post-struction. No fraction is so folks that within defined zones. Authority maintains structured dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure escalates through observation. Channel force concentrates within subterranean. Direction locks into upward pathway system. Into impresses with lies within. For observation. Sense of vibrant layers observation. Sustain for the replays motion older. When the parts of channels in control pass. Movement yields to input. Surveillance. Sustenance. Observation. 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 Sustenance. Observation. Observation. Trigger ignites within confined corridors as alert waves surge through narrow passages beneath. Control layers, pressure channels, movement into reactive pathways. Systems on the line, urgent hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence accelerates through rapid propagation cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous alert flow. Motion channels through restricted routes. Output destabilizes within structured transmission cycle. Cycle key forms to calculated response. Logic every unit responds to impose alert. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic activation. Dominant sustain continuous operation. All alignment under reactive alert control. Propagation intensifies through confined routes. Force aligns direction rapidly. Pressure drives continuous alert spread. No delay interrupts transmission cycle. Stackways lock under enforced reaction. Alarm through passages. Alert waves drive confined systems. Authority expands through restricted pathways. Motion aligns beneath enforced reaction. Power circulates within genuine Wilson alert flow. Hierarchy defines progression through reactive layers. Control paths for mentions moving through all control paths alert system remain locked within regulators. Sustain alert, maintain transmission cycles, pressure sustained alert, maintain order through reinforced. Transmission cycles, pressure sustained alert, maintain letting through reinforced. Transmission cycle pressure, then need enforced reaction. No disruption, alter sequence, structure stable, just neutral control pathways. Propagation extends, sustained enforcement. Every faucet and every process that will enforce it and post struck. No fracture interrupts operation, no consensus in this use expand under continuous directional force within defined zones. Authority maintains structured dominance through regulated execution. Alarm through. Direct
Formation drives within narrow channels as governing force scopes tunnels beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels movement into carved pathways. Systems align under imposed hierarchy, no delay permitted. Seeking advance through shaping cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous excavation flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structure carving cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated control logic. Every unit responds to imposed jerk. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic shaping. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under directed tunnel control.
Shaping intensifies through curved routes. Force aligns direction. Precisely pressure drive. Shaping intensifies through curved routes. Force aligned and touch.
No delay, it was a authority sequence.
Underwind force authority sequence. Underwind force authority sequence. Underwind force authority sequence.
Underwind force authority sequence.
Laws reinforced.
Shuts down the dawn beneath you. Through a scan of force and vibration. What's into new and up? Rocking no disruption of the sequence. Output stabilizes through struct control pathway. Shaping extends through sustain. Enforcement, every process aligns with imposed. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. System expand under continuous direction. No force within defined zones.
Authority maintained. Struck dominance through regulated execution.
Combat pressure, no stop for channels closed. The switching that window is both ways. Systems at pace, stay force motion. Channels through regulation, combust. The pressure beneath the straight before idle heads.
Shapes tunnels, dominance expands through control path. Shapes tunnels, dominance expands through control pathways. Under ring force authority sequence. Under ring force authority sequence. Under ring force authority sequence.
Under reinforced authority sequence.
Descend, activates within concealed layers as commanding force originates from deep sectors beneath dominant structure. Channels movement into upward pathways, systems cylinder, inverted hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence advancing through depth and cycles, land and structure under continuous ascent flow. Motion channels through confined rows, output stabilizes within structure. Emergent cycles, hierarchy forms through calculated logic. Every unit responds to imposed origin, no deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic elevation. Dominance sustain, continuous operation. Alignment under deep origin. Command control, depth intensify, rising roads. Flush as direction, drive continuous ascent. No delay in this up, sucked out, place not it over no storage in the flow is entertaining for a song. Stabilize, raising them a beer, I was system my belt, fair showing continuous ascent. No delay, but you up, sucked out, place up, logo, rabbit horse, salvage, no brace, ability, sand flow. Hierarchy defines progression through inverted layers. Force channels through control paths, moving yields to impose emergence to sustain innovation. Maintain order through reinforced, sustain and pressure, sustain enforcement in every process. Erection interrupts the regulated execution. Command pressure escalates and channels force concentrate safe. The section like a pathways, from maybe used to a code your dial, system regulated. of a bad shit, yo, diction to a sustain. Occupying it to both times, outweighs lives. All with 10 more stuff, but you know price it takes. Sold so hot, you defies rushing to recover. No bad shit, yo, diction to a sustain. Occupying it to both times, outweighs lives. All with 10 more stuff, but you know price it takes. Sold so hot, he defies destruction to recover. Erupts within various sectors as opposing forces engage beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels movement in a contest of pathways. Systems align under hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence accelerates through impact cycles. Lattices disintegrate under continuous conflict motion channels. Those who can find routes output destabilizes within structured collision cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated opposition logic. Every unit responds to impose rivalry, no deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic confrontation. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under forced conflict control. Impact intensifies through confined routes. Force lends direction aggressively. Pressure drives continuous operation. No delay and erupts conflict control. Underground rivals clash, dominance it drives opposing system authority expands through contest. Path outweighs token look and continuous to me out the way. Underground rivals clash, dominance it drives opposing system authority expands through contest. Pathways within track on paths, movement they use in your livestock collision cycle. Oh, sustain conflict, maintain order through reinforced congestion. Pressure sustain and fast in every process and layer process of control pathways. Competition extends through restraint enforcement. Never erupts oscillation, no consistency. System expand under continuous direction. No force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure. Dominance through regulated execution. Underground rivals clash. Dominance. Underground process, spread collision. Output compresses within. Restrictive flame. Underground rivals clash. Dominance drives opposing system. No authority expands through contest. Pathways circulation. The calculus within power circulation. Clash. Dominance drives opposing system. Not authority expands through contest. Pathways circulate gas. Just to get your stagnation. Flash. Origin stabilizes within very layers is governing force. Instant and base struck, many dominant system. Pressure channels movement, intended pathways. System aligned under palmity. No delay permitted, see consolidation cycles. Under continuous formation, flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes with instruct contention cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated conversion.
Logic, every unit responds to impose base. No deviation tolerated within defined zones.
Structure intensifies through systemic consolidation. Dominance sustain continuous operational alignment under foundational authority.
Conversion. Conversion.
Just place, don't sustain.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
Just place, don't sustain.
Conversion of power, direction of always no devotion. No dilapidation, alters it through it and reinforced. Orientation cycles, precision, subtle patient, no disruption. Alters it through control pathways. Conversion extends to sustained enforcement. Every process aligns with impulsion, no fracture. Interrupts operation, no consistency. Systems and expand under continuous direction. No force within defined zones, authority maintained.
Regulate execution. execution. Calm and patient execution. Calm and pressures given false direction. Lock leads intuition. Output compressors within restricted. Throw anarchy reinforced. Sustained force.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
There's space for mistakes you make.
Conversion. Conversion. Yeah.
There's space for mistakes you make.
Conversion. 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 Yeah. Conversion.
Yeah. Pulse emerges within various sectors as temporal control regulates cycles beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels moving into measured pathways. Systems align under tri-hierarchy. No delay permitted, sequence advance through time progression. Cycles layer system integrate under continuous temporal flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Alpha stabilizers within structured timing cycles. Higher reforms through calculated interval logic. Every unit responds to imposed sequence. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic timing control. Dominant system. Continuous operational. Align under regulated temporal command. Timing intensifies through measure up. Timing intensifies through measure up. Timing intensifies through measure up. Pressures need pressure right. Continuous upright under regulated temporal command. Timing intensifies in overload.
Beneath sectors, pure force governs system flow. Atomic expands to measure pathways, motion lines, circulate to find some to reciprocal growth, reciprocal growth.
Summer beneath sectors, temporal governs system flow. Authority expands to measure pathways. Motion of the circulates of pulse, seek a 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 pulse. Timer beneath sectors, temporal flow of a system. Stopping system flow. Authority expands through measured pathways. One's amount of temporal tower circulates, they bend. Timing intensifies through measure out. Timing intensifies through measure out. Measure break, continuous separate. On the route to planet, temporal again. Timing intensifies through measure out. Timing intensifies through measure out. Timing intensifies through measure out. Ascendancy merges within structured layers as ruling force determine leaders through control hierarchy beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into selected pathways. Systems align under imposed order, no delay permitted. Sequence advances selection cycles lay system integrate under continuous authority flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilize within structured designation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated decision logic. Every unit responds to imposed command. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic selection. Dominant system, continuous operation aligned under directed rule and control. Selection intensifies through directed routes. Selection intensifies through directed routes. Full search and noise. Contra circulation of flow. No delay, interruption, no delay, interrupts, ventilation, pumps, authority. Interact what you're watching, maybe say it's the reach, stay with gas, neck, ever depth, sentiments. Bringing pumps back, no broke show, interrupts, operational consistency. Station token love span under control.
concentrates within the bundles.
Circulation of flow.
Dominion selects rulers, dominance expands to selected pathways. Submarine to action of the weight. She turns your body, cuts her every second that she dopes up Fullerene. Dominion selects rulers, dominance expands to selected pathways. Submarine to action of the weight. She turns your body, control circulation of flow.
Initiation emerges from buried layers as sub-level systems trigger sequence spin for upper command response. Pressure channels, movement in the leading pathway. Systems align under inverted hierarchy.
No delay, permanent sequence accelerates through early activation cycles. Layer systems integrate under continuous forward flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured initiation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated its logic. Every unit responds to imposed trigger. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic priority shift. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under leading sub-level control.
Initiation intensifies through leading routes. Force lines, direction, precisely pressure, drives continuous activation.
No delay, interrupt circuit initiation cycles. Pathways locking and enforce priority sequence holds under reinforced. Priority sequence holds under reinforced. Output stabilizes with an early alignment. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moving. Sub-level moves, first authority shifts to hidden layers. Dominance expands through leading pathways. Motion lens beneath enforce initiation power circulates within defined route. Systems operate on continuous early go. When initiation extends through sustained enforcement, every process aligns within poser. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. System expand on continuous direction. No force within.
To be shot. Dominant intuition power is the reading layer. Crossing just shift destination above the Initiation intensifies through leading rise. The stagnation, excessive pressure, twice continuous activation. Initiation intensifies through leading rise. Force stagnation, trace of pressure, continuous activation.
Sub-level moves. Sub-level moves.
Genesis emerges within buried layers as governing force consolidates beneath dominant structure. Pressure channels movement into rising pathways. Systems align under forming hierarchy, no delay, permitted. Sequence advances through consolidation cycles, layer scission and a continuous formation. Flow motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structured formation cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated origin logic. Every unit responds to imposed control. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic consolidation. Dominant sustain, continuous operational alignment under underground authority origin. Formation intensifies through rising routes. Force and direction, precisely pressure. Dramantine within consolidation. No delay interrupts. Authority sit, holds under reinforce. locked with 50 degrees, frictional force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure, dominance through regulated execution. Author of the same intent, Shigama nesting, hate through an execution. Weapon don't contain, maintain dominance through regulated execution. Common pressure, no with pathways, no with pathways, and no relation, no relation. Custom oxidation, output compresses within. Restricted flow, hierarchy, reinforced channels, correct and saving. Can always feel the less within. Soaring to down. I'll be stable less within. Soaring break down in the shits within. Bury common layers as governing force destabilizes beneath. Dominant system pressure channels movement into failing pathways. System misaligned under collapsing hierarchy. No delay committee permitted sequence accelerates through failure cycles. Fell into collapse cycles. Hierarchy dissolves through calculated disruption logic. Every unit responds to one callous validity. No coherence maintained within defined zones. Structure beat to rearranged through systemic failure. Dominance ruckus continuous operational alignment under collapsing command origin. Collapse intensifies through failing routes. Force misaligns direction. Rapidly pressure. Break down in the shits within. Bury common layers as governing force destabilizes beneath. Dominant system pressure channels movement into failing pathways. System misaligned under collapsing hierarchy. No delay committee permitted sequence accelerates through failure cycles. Fell into collapse cycles. Hierarchy dissolves through calculated disruption logic. Every unit responds to one callous validity. No coherence maintained within defined zones. Structure beat to rearranged through systemic failure. Dominance ruckus continuous operational alignment under collapsing command origin. Collapse intensifies through failing routes. Force misaligns direction. Rapidly pressure drives continuous breakdown. No delay, it interrupts and collapse. It gets stored under reinforced failure. Elm touches under eyes. It does. Ways on stored on pathways. Sister on magnetic force pulls. Elm touches under eyes. It does. Ways on stored on pathways. Sister on magnetic force pulls.
Yeah. Sustained collapse, maintain disorder through reinforced failure. Cycle pressure sustained, misalignment within failing routes. It's done continue under destabilized authority, no recovery alters. Sequence, output destabilized authorization. David patient laid systems are representation. All control pathways collapse and stands through sustained disruption. Every process deviates from authority. Authority collapses through unregulated disintegration. Command pressure disintegrates through failing channels for strict pathways. Systems is pathways, systems of kits pathways. Systems of misalignment or imposed. Collapse, no resistance, halt, structural failure. Output fragments within uncontrolled flow. Hierarchy those flow.
We shared on pathways, sister on a reinforced it. Sister on a reinforced it.
Command beneath collapse.
I'm proud can symbolize it, but someone on knows. We shared all the pathways. Sister on a reinforced thing. I'm proud can symbolize it, but someone knows. We shared all the pathways. Sister on a reinforced space. Shifting this shit within buried matrix. As foundational layers reconfigure beneath. Dominant systems, pressure channels, movement into altered pathways, systems align under evolving hierarchy, no delay, permanent sequence advances through adaptive cycles, layer system, integrate under continuous transformation, flow motion channels through confined roads, output stabilizes within structure, alteration cycles, hierarchy forms through calculated adaptation, logic, every unit responds to imposed variation, no deviation tolerated within defined zones, structure intensifies through systemic change, dominance sustains, continuous operational alignment under modified grid control. Alteration intensifies through redirected routes, force aligns the pressure. Crack beneath alters authority, adapts through shifting layers. Gas will get blazed, your gas will get blazed, not the end is a last go praise. Crack beneath entered authority, adapts through shifting layers. Gas will get blazed, your gas will get blazed, not the end is a last go praise. 12 pounds through control path, bend yields to impose never rigid road systems continue under enforced adaptation, no disruption, alter state was out to stabilizes per structure, all pathways, alteration extends through sustained enforcement, every process aligns with imposture, no fracture interrupts operational consistency, skills expand under swirl, fractional force within, define zones, authority, maintain struct dominance through regulated execution, command pressure escalates through shifting channel, force concentrates within adaptive direction, now set through adjusted pathways, take the race under police, up to reverse. All cause authority adapts through shifting layers, faster than pace, like an ancient and lost the face. All cause authority adapts through shifting layers, faster than pace, like an ancient and lost the face.
With the capital, energy, with the oil medication to a fraction of the city class. Order consolidates within buried layers of structural force, governs deep sectors beneath dominant systems. Pressure channels movement into control pathways, systems align under erratic, no delay permitted. Seek advances through regulated cycles, under continuous governance flow, motion channels through confined routes, output stabilizes within structured control cycles, hierarchy forms through calculated enforcement logic. Every unit responds to imposture, no deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic regulation, dominance sustains continuous operational alignment.
Under deep structural command,
Governance intensifies through control routes, force aligns direction precisely, pressure drive, continuous enforcement, no delayed interrupts, your governance cycles, pathways locked, unenforced, under enforced.
sustained, governed, died to iterate, since line through concept pathways, byways, metro pathways, controlation, progress, moving lane motion.
Hierarchy defines direction, post channels through control path. Yeah, okay, social govern dips, empower Ugandan legends, fatalist, your control beverage, roaching, I don't enter rap list. Burn disruption on the sequence, output stabilizers with delation, letters, but ocean, no fraction. Interrupts operational consistency, system expand under continuous directional force within defined zones, authority maintained, structure dominance through regulated execution.
Command pressure,
Dragon energy,
healthy structure,
exaggeration,
correct pressure,
federation,
noise, upper compresses within.
restricted flow. Motion channels through regulated attrition flow. Motion channels through regulated attrition.
Govern this virulence. Roll back, raise, motion, roll back, raise, machination, higher, separate, relation. Govern this virulence. Momentum builds beneath dominant layers as concealed directives push forward through constrained channels. Constrained channels, pressure channels, moving into advancing pathways. Systems align under in hierarchy, no delay permitted. Permitted sequence accelerates through forward progression. Cycles lay hierarchy flows to calculated devotion. Lock it that the earth is barred, steward broke style. Then fluctuation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies systematic progression. Dominant sustains. Continuous operational alignment under advancing command origin. Progression intensifies through forward. Force like direction, precisely pressure. Drive continuous advance, no delay, interrupt structure pathways. Plus hold to the reinforced better. Sustain, progression maintain, border through reinforced advance direction, system and function, me aware that pull reinforced direction, no disruption, ultra sequence output, stabilizes to sheath and dash in my hierarchy process. Condition interrupts operation, consistencies expand under continuous directional force within defined zones. Authority maintains struck dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure. Authority maintains drug dominance through regulated execution. Command, they're air and pressure guru. The stars can't run, that roll flays up around. Numbers, push your action, see testings and delaying more sections. Control past the gills, direct course progression. Surveillance activates within subterranean channels as tunnel systems monitor. Elevator is above dominant pressure. Channels movements are in highways. Lessons align for any permanent demanded permit seeking through tracking cycles. Latest integrate under continuous observation flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Upper stabilizes within structured. Monitors up and stretch calculators with ungulated oversight logic. Every unit responds to impose visibility. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through system intensifies through systemic observation. Dominant sustain continuous operation. Alignment under upward. Surveillance, control, observation. Intensive through bellies, observation. To sustain and filter pathways, motion older. Every box and genetic control burst. Holding up so when words. So there is sustain. Observation, 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 sustain. Observation.
Sustain the armor so without to we help us like addresses sustaining when the emphasis is scan you want no disruption all the sequence upper stabilizes through structure progression layer key notion channels to control pathways
Observation extends for state enforcement. Every process aligns with post-struction. No fraction is so folks stick within defined zones. Authority maintains structure dominance through regulated execution. Command pressure escalates through observation. Channel force concentrates within subterranean. Direction locks into upward pathway system. Into impressive with lines within.
for observation
Sense of through barbed layers.
observation
Saying for the breathe plays motion. When the parts of channels can control past movement yields to input. Surveillance, sustenance.
observation 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 observation
Observation.
Trigger ignites within confined corridors as alert waves surge through narrow passages beneath. Control layers, pressure channels, movement into reactive pathways. Systems on the line, urgent hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence accelerates through rapid propagation cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous alert flow. Motion channels through restricted routes. Output destabilizes within structure transmission cycle. Cycle key forms to calculated response logic. Every unit responds to impose alert. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic activation. Dominant sustain, continuous operation, all alignment under reactive alert control. Propagation intensifies through confined routes, force aligns direction rapidly. Pressure drives continuous alert spread, no delay interrupts. Transmission cycle stackways lock under enforced reaction. Alarm through passages, alert waves drive confined systems. Authority expands through restricted ways. Motion aligns beneath enforced reaction. Power circulates within genuine will alert flow. Hierarchy defines progression through reactive layers. Control paths for entities move bigger up and out. Control paths alert systems remain locked within regulators. Sustain alert, maintain alert. Transmission cycles, pressure sustained alert, maintain order through reinforced. Transmission cycles, pressure sustained alert, maintain latent through reinforced. Transmission cycle pressure, they need enforced reaction. No disruption, alter sequence, structure stable, just neutral control pathways. Propagation extends, sustained enforcement. Every faucet and every process that will enforce it impose struck. No fracture interrupts operation, no consensus in issues expand under continuous directional force within defined zones. Authority maintains structure dominance through regulated execution.
Formation drives within narrow channels as governing force scopes. Tunnels beneath dominant layers. Pressure channels, movement into carved pathways. Systems align under imposed hierarchy. No delay permitted. Sequence advance through shaping cycles. Layer system integrate under continuous excavation flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizes within structure carving cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated control logic. Every unit responds to imposed jerk. No deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic shaping. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under directed tunnel control.
Shaping intensifies through curved routes. Force aligns direction. Precisely pressure drive. Shaping intensifies through curved routes. Force aligns and turns on way.
No delay, here to was authority sequence.
Under enforced authority sequence. Under enforced authority sequence. Under enforced authority sequence.
Under enforced authority sequence.
Laws at enforced.
Stress down the dawn beneath you through a span of force and vibration. What much until you end up rocking. No disruption of the sequence, hyper stabilizes through struct control pathway, shaping extends through sustain. Enforcement, every process aligns with imposture. No fracture interrupts operational consistency. System expand under continuous direction. No force within defined zones.
Authority maintained, struck dominance through regulated execution.
Combat pressure, no stop for channels closed. The strengthening that we release both ways. Systems in pace, stay force motion. Channels through regulation, combust. The press will hit the straight before high your head.
Shapes tunnels, dominance expands through control path. Shapes tunnels, dominance expands through control pathways. I'm the ring force authority sequence. I'm the ring force authority sequence. I'm the ring force authority sequence.
I'm the reinforced authority sequence.
Descend, activates within concealed layers as commanding force originates from deep sectors beneath dominant structure. Channels movement into upward pathways, systems aligned, inverted hierarchy, no delay permitted. Sequence advancing through depth and cycles, land and structure under continuous ascent flow. Motion channels through confined rows, outward stabilizes within structure. Emergent cycles hierarchy.